And now the joust. First out, right up the gate, will be a headbutt joust taken by maybe Genesis, but actually a stack getting back here. It'll be two players for Chaos finding themselves over inside the goal. Now Curry in a hurry, cannot make the shot there, so the goalie there, Curry diving out and didn't result in any goals, however, so Genesis takes it right back. Genesis, of course, on blue team here, it's Mozzie, Knife Rich, H Money SD, and J Tabaka? I'm going to have to ask him about that one. But here it goes to Curry. He's going to clear it out there. Welcome again to everyone. Back to everyone in Twitch. Back here in the match tonight, our final one of the night. No, last cast round, someone pointing out Knife Rich's name. Kind of Iron Rich, kind of play on words of sorts. Nickel and iron, something like that. I don't know. Science, chemistry, words. But here it goes. H Money SD trying to look for their chemistry as Knife Rich sits there in the goalpost. And that's a deep shot, missed by Jay, but still looking up and trying to find a tap down low. Blenders, Tabaka. How much do I trust Blenders? I guess enough to pronounce it Tabaka for now. But I'm watching you, Blenders. Yeah, I was doing the camera work last time on the last Genesis match, so remember the names being spoken, but on the other hand, when you're kind of invested in it, you get a little bit, you know, in hyper-focus mode where everything else starts fading away except... There is a Team Joker move right there, challenging Ryan Rhino for the crawling title. Creepy crawly Jay Tabaka is. But yeah, very nicely done to just kind of... that makes me laugh. It's too funny watching that happen, but it works. And over to Cakester here for Chaos, looking for a soft pass that eventually reaches Farafo, as Curry in a hurry was doing nice with the brawls to enable the disc to fly pass. Now a good pass here to Dano McFabulous. Knife just biding his time in the goal, and Dano biting his time down low. Now here goes a dive out by Knife Rich, looking for another clear. Will in fact get it. Now here comes a boost finally from some Mozzie or Genesis players, and it is Mozzie looking good for the first three. It took a couple minutes for these teams to get going, and here it is though for the three-pointer. So good hit for Genesis. And Blender's saying it's a Polish thingy. You know, I've been there twice. But that sounds reasonable enough. I mean, I don't know. Best part about Poland, IEM Katowice, at least year one, was the mega dogs. For the people who went to that land. Gigantic hot dogs and gigantic buns. Unfortunately, they were not nearly as mega the next year. But, hey. Anyway, off it goes here. Taken by Jay Tabaka. And off to the side. Well, bouncing right out for the rebound. H Money doing good on the collection, but Cakester rejects it, sends it clear on out there. Looking for some leeches. Farafo actually just dealing some punches. So good brawls by Farafo to at least deny the stack from Genesis. And now Dano from Chaos. And there is a 3-point rebuttal for Chaos after a couple minutes, or after about a minute as well. So only 2 scores so far, 4 minutes into round 1. Both of them 3-pointers, both from that right side. I'll gladly take that one. And here comes Genesis. Off to the races. A little out of place on the pass. Now just looking to recollect it here. Dano dishing an extra punch just because that was very close to being a self-goal. We've seen a couple of those this weekend. It happens. No shame in it. I mean, doesn't feel good, but pretty much happens to everyone at some point, so hey. H Money coming here. He had some preseason experience, finding himself on a new team at the moment, but... And a lot of these players here on Genesis, indeed, new to the competitive scene. It's always good to see. Right now, holding their own against Chaos, who kind of similarly, although they were in preseason, they're still trying to find their foothold here in VRML. And getting that team chemistry down. So it is part of the intrigue of this match, just seeing which team can put it together a little bit more. And there is, well, a little bit more for H Money SD. Nabs it off the bottom of that ramp and puts in that stamp. And it's a 6-3 lead. 4:38 left now in round 1. Hurry in a hurry. Now that is a very hurried clear. Meets no one, so perhaps the secondary stack, I wasn't able to catch it, but I'm assuming got caught up inside the tunnel. Maybe messed up their joust a little bit, because we see some teams go for those clear and boost, or I'm not sure clear and boost is the right word, but off the joust, they'll throw it just directly without looking at a teammate into a certain spot in tunnel or down mid, and they trust that their back stack will be able to collect it. And you see that roll out a lot, especially on the European side, but there are some NA teams who certainly do that as well. It's a very good move if you can execute it well. You know, forces the defense to kind of, I don't know, gamble a little bit, because they suddenly have to take their focus off of the players. And, well, right there, maybe not focused on Jay DeBeka, so he is going to go in there for a play off the 3. No, rebounded to himself and gets it in there for 9 points to Genesis. So good concentration to bring it back off the bounce and still find the 3-pointer at the end of the day. Quite literally, this is the end of the day here in VRML. Lots of games going on, or had gone on. And it's been a pleasure to cast them all. Seeing these new teams debut today, or make their season debuts for some of the veteran teams as well. So Jay DeBeka comes in, is stunned immediately. A pile of Chaos players doling out some damage. Dano looking behind. Oh, and just misses the disc first time, so has to sling it out instead. And actually does work its way over to a Farafo conveniently. Farafo barely evading and punching Mozzie. So good job by Farafo there as he takes an anchor and makes it straight on the goalkeeper to bring it within 4. Good shot from Farafo off that push-off on the bottom island. And also just a good job a little bit further down the floor from Farafo, even avoiding Mozzie, because Mozzie was definitely pressuring quite well on defense. So this rollout will find Mozzie with a pass. Speaking of, tries to get it back to Knife, cannot, so it ends up being cut through the mid as some stacks fly on. H Money, the recipient, trying to find somebody, does not. So another change of possessions, this time to Cakester and Chaos. Another steal, going for a bit of an angel move, shielding himself as Dano, losing the disc, but getting it back is Farafo. Farafo again somehow avoiding barely the hands of the defense, so he's good on the concentration there, just narrowly avoiding and going in, trying to avoid getting it stuffed, but does not meet the hands of teammate. Doesn't matter now, because Farafo eventually off the rolls, collects it and rolls on in to bring it to 2 points now. So it's a close game here, late in the first. Noticing on my activity feed, someone saying, commentary, or someone named commentary following. Gotta appreciate someone with that name following me while I commentate here on Cast. A man of great taste, surely. But Farafo coming on here with the disc, takes it out, and dishes it over to Cakester for Chaos. Down by 2 points, a chance to tie it up, and they will! Dano McFabulous assisted to Cakester, and this has been a good comeback now from Chaos. They found themselves down by a few goals earlier on, but now bringing it back late in round 1. Could be heading to an OT here, yet to be determined. But 30 seconds and we'll know for sure. H Money, the roll, goes into the hands of nobody, but in the vicinity of Cakester, who does collect eventually. You can see Dano there covering Mozzie, trying to just bide some time for the disc holder on his team. Now Chaos looking for possession. This is going to be huge. A double stun. So both of them momentarily stalled. 4 seconds left. Needs to be a last second heave. And it will be to the other end. So overtime it is. Looked like for a while Genesis was in position to take that round. But no, instead Chaos mounting themselves a comeback. And finding it right here. OT, sudden death in round 1. The Chronister saying, nice tie. Why, yes. I was just mentioning, too, even in the Discord, Echo Arena Discord chat, how we've had some OTs already this weekend, several. And, well, here's another one of them. And H Money SD in 5 seconds flat flattens the goal for the 2-point win. So Genesis takes round 1 here against Chaos. But exciting round it certainly was. Now, it's kind of funny. I tend to mention this. I didn't even say it before this OT, but it seems like a very high percentage of the time, I want to say probably 75% of the time, I feel like, OTs end within about 10 seconds of that joust. Kind of uncanny that way. But it's often you have players committing really hard to be the first to secure that disc because obviously offensive possession, especially if you're the first team to get that offensive possession off an overtime joust, immediately puts you in advantage by itself. Now the problem is when you have multiple players committing to those jousts off OT, what ends up happening is one or two, usually a pair of players, end up flying past and missing the disc altogether. Therefore, on the other end, wherever that disc lands, it usually is a two-on-one or just basically a number situation where the defense isn't quite in position. There's only one guy at goal. The rest of the defense is a bit scrambled, doesn't quite know where to go, and yeah, so that joust's a very powerful thing in Echo for sure. And actually, it looks like we just got a crash, so we'll be seeing a restart before this round actually begins. Take a quick look at the stats before we do get the reset. But yeah, so the crash did occur. See if they acknowledge it. Looks like they will. So quick restart here. Apologies for that. We'll get the player back in hopefully shortly. Worth mentioning too, so for those who actually were not around in Echo Arena when it first came out back in 2017, the way that Joust worked in competitive, and this was also, keep in mind, competitive was 3-on-3 back in the day. Not too long ago either, but yes, back in the day as well. It was 3-on-3. The way that Joust worked is that every single time you would joust, it would always appear in the middle here, every time. The update, I believe they called it the Chronos patch, that made it so the disc would spawn on the team who got scored on side. That came around November of 2017. So from July until sometime in around early or mid-November, the disc would spawn every single time here in the center of the arena. And the reason it was changed was, well, at least I don't want to take too much credit and sound like, egotist, but at the time, so obviously Eclipse, I was part of that team back at the time, #1 seed in North America. And the thing is, we had the best joust in the game. Easily, and we won it handily. And the thing is, the statistics showed that regardless of Eclipse, even in other games, the team who won that joust would be often the one who wins a match, like a disproportionate amount of the time. Like whichever team would win those jousts would win the match a lot, like 70-something% of the time. It was powerful because obviously at the time, defense was not nearly as strong as it is today. People were still trying to figure out the team play, much less figure out how to stop a disc from going in the goal. It was a very different game. The skill level at the time, just obviously it was lower. Everyone is brand new. There was no information out there on how you're supposed to play this game, really. It was just a different situation. And so it's still early in the lifespan, and that's just how it was. Offense had a absolute massive advantage. So whenever that disc would be spawning here every time like it was early on, and my team on Eclipse would win that joust basically 99% of the time, almost never lost it. It was a guaranteed goal just about every time, and it really helped snowball. Now that being said, we were proponents too for that patch actually happening, because as much as we benefit off of it, it wasn't fun, and it wasn't good for the game. It didn't feel good. In other sports, whether it's football or basketball, when a team gets scored on, they get possession back, right? And they get a chance to go on the offense while the other team is then forced to, have to defend. So it's not just a one-dimensional thing. So, seeing that change go through, we were all for it. I was certainly all for it. It was fun. Because that's when you saw the introduction suddenly of the QB concept, the quarterback concept, where you would have someone grabbing the disc here on offense and make these set plays. It really made the game a lot more dynamic because that's when you suddenly had all these different rollouts you could do. Down tunnel through to the mid. You can have these short rollouts, but before early in the lifespan when the disc would spawn in the middle every time, it was just basically a medieval joust every time, which was entertaining to a degree, but it was very static and unfair. So, yeah. The T-Chronister saying he started playing in November last year. Gotcha. So yeah, very much part of that new blood here in Echo Arena. A lot of new players. Been seeing them quite frequently, especially like over the last couple months when I'm doing some. Let's check on the chat real quick, actually, on the other side of things. But when I'm working on some of the overlays or practicing on cams and things like that, I head into pubs quite a bit, and especially during the right time of day, I'm definitely seeing like a lot of players, new players that I don't recognize. It's a nice thing. There was a time where I feel like I knew everyone in Echo Arena quite well. I knew their play styles, I knew their personalities, vice versa. They knew me. We were all kind of tight knit, and we all played with each other, whether it was the private matches or pubs, things like that. And over time, of course, as growth happens, just get more and more new users, and suddenly, I just remember after one of the ESL seasons, the VRL seasons, I came back, and then once the grind was over, I was like, okay, let me chill in some pubs again, because I haven't played pubs in months. So I'll hop into the pub matches. It was probably around Season 2 or something, after Season 2, so. Then suddenly I'm getting into these pub matches and thinking to myself, how are there level 50s in this game that I don't know? Like, I've never even seen their names. And it took me back a little bit because, yeah, for a while, everyone just knew everyone. And, but that said, it's kind of to the point now that we find ourselves, especially with community leagues like this and the fact that we are able to get these streams happening quite frequently, it's kind of given me and other people back the ability to start recognizing each other again and recognizing each other's play styles and things like that. So that's a nice part about having dozens, if not hundreds of streams over the course of a season like this, that for the first time, everyone gets visibility and everyone gets representation, and as the community grows, this is just kind of a way to still pull it back in so it's kind of close, if that makes sense. But enough rambling, because guess what? We have ourselves the start, finally, of the second round after that delay, so our apologies for that. Those tech issues, the players settling it amongst themselves. Headbutt joust, not resulting in any goals, and instead a turnover to Chaos. So here we go. Brief intermission, but back in commission. Curry in a hurry. Oh, gets it stolen, so now trying to scurry for the disc. Jay Tobeka cannot make it. Off the backboard, or off the barrier, I should say, as H-Money takes it away. Now he'll look for the back pass. And talking about kind of the difference between metas from now and compared to 2017, 2018, even this, the back pass, that was such an unusual thing just a year and a half ago. You did not see many teams do it, and it was so very unnatural. But now it's a quintessential part of the game, being able to reset your offenses and get better shots instead of forcing it forward all the time. Right there, taking out is Jada Beka, but a good intercept in the midline by Cakester. And right now, scoreless, a minute into the second round after the little intermission there for the tech issues. Flying onto the other side and taken eventually in their stride. It's H-Money SD trying to contest. Sends a shot. Oh, absolutely is in. H-Money. Nothing funny about that. That was a banger of a shot off the backboard. Look at that angle on that one. Barely avoided the wedge. and found himself the 3. Wow, great shot. Now, another difference here between metas, which is interesting, because this is more of a recent development thanks to 4v4. 4v4 kind of reintroduced the midfielder meta of sorts back to the game. Now, I'm not saying it totally went away, but there came a point, especially around season, or maybe after VRL Season 2 or around Season 3 of that, where you almost needed a full three stack of your full 3v3 team to be up on the front line. As Olan, this shot is looking almost good. Backs it out here, and Mozzie takes that over and dishes it back. But yeah, there was a time where you really needed all 3 players out near the goal to assault it because defenses were starting to get really good. But then you reintroduce 4v4 in where you can cover all 3 lanes and kind of still have someone backing out in the mid line. And it just, yeah, the extra player really enables more dynamicism. Is that a word? I hope it's a word. Dynamism? Dynamite, whatever. Cakester going here for some chaos on the shot. Dano McFabulous, and there is the first 2 after a few minutes in round 2. Good job. But, yeah. So, really, 4v4 enables you to move up with 3 full players. You can cover right, center, and left lanes, have multiple passing options, but you can still leave someone way back here in mid, kind of guarding those clears, playing the interceptions. So that's kind of a callback to what it was like in 2017 when that was actually a much more frequent thing, having those midfielders. A lot of interesting changes. In any case, over here it will go. Nice punches by Cakester and just makes it barely before Knife Rich is able to get through to save it. So 1 point lead for Chaos there. Nicely done. See if I can get that replay. Yep. Almost wasn't sure I got it, but luckily it's there. Now over here, launching out is Genesis. Looking to deal some damage, but Knife Rich, oh, look at that stat coming in from nowhere. So Knife Rich has that snatch out of his hands. Jada doing a good job to pressure that pass, and even more pressure. There you go, actually, pressure causing maybe a turnover. Curry in a hurry, still receiving that and looking for the pass up top. Still maintains in Chaos's possession somehow through all of that hard work on the defensive ends, and it does get them the 3-point goal. Or, sorry, the 3-point lead is what I meant to say. Close enough, but the 2-point goal for the 3-point lead, and we're about halfway through round 2, so Chaos starting to put a few of these in. So Chaos, they did drop the first round, need to win round 2 to stay alive and force a game 3. That shot not quite there. Right now, though, Chaos definitely in some good position. Still a lot of time to go, however. So for Chaos, want to collect themselves as this stack comes through. There's Mozzie as well as H-Money. Not quite corral the disc. So Cakester, another tap out. And maybe didn't think he had as much time as he did. So now looking for a short range stack. And they get that one. Curry dropping it off, but too strong on the pass. And now a loose disc will find Mozzie. His team down 3 right now for Mozzie, and looks like an interception again. So a lot of scrambledness going on here. Farafo taking it over along with Curry, looking for a deep one. That's just going to barely graze past the hands of Jada eventually finding it anyway. And now looking for, oh, maybe another interception. So Knife Rich finding his spot inside the goal. Dano looking off the backboard, does not convert. So a lot of brawls now as some stacks go out. You can see Cakester there just trying to avoid Jada. And H-Money SD just as well. So look at just a strong defense. Honestly, they're playing these passing lanes very well. These passes, even though they're recovering them, as some weird interactions again go through. But a lot of the time, like when the receiver's about to get the pass, you can see just very suffocated by a nearby defender. And again, oh, conceded almost an open 3. A putback. Oh my goodness! It's a 2 put in by Curry. He tried to save that. Whoa, that was a very, very unfortunate turn of events. I mean, at the very least, turned it into a 3. But did you see if the replay shows it? Just how long it hung within an inch of that rim. Kind of had to clench almost. Not sure if it was going to go through, but yeah, could not collect it. And Curry in a hurry, though. His team's still up by 1 on Chaos. They have 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, to secure this victory. For Genesis, they're just trying to stay in it. They don't want this Game 3 to happen. So here it goes. Dano down low to the rebound, and there is the goal. So 8-5. And that's a timely score for Chaos right now. Again, finding themselves needing to force this Game 3, so they have to win this one. First match was 11-9 in favor of Genesis in overtime. Then after that first round, we did take a little bit of a intermission of sorts. There were some tech issues for one of the players. So I had to go to an intermission, listen to some Pally stories, reminiscing about the old times. But now reminiscing about the current times, if that even makes sense, is H Money looking, oh, cannot find the shot, but again, a rebound results in the goal, this time for Knife Rich of Genesis. So 1-point game with 1:40 left. Kaiden, Genesis saying that was close, but not a good idea to shoot a 3. Yeah, so just a bit of a risk there. Did have a teammate on the backboard, but luckily for them, still panned out. That's one of the important things. Just as well, it's not always about the first attempt. Sometimes it's about how you recover. You know, because mistakes at any level are inevitable, but if you have enough wherewithal and enough speed and good positioning, you can make up for an awful lot of otherwise, you know, misplays, purely based on great positioning and speedy stacks and things like that. You see it a lot from teams these days. Over here, disc knocked loose. Oh, that is going to fly very close. No one able to corral the disc for very long. Punch, punch, and a punch again. Absolute bunches of brawls. Get that out of there, Mozzie. Good job. Because, wow, that was a claustrophobic situation as another interception, this time coming from Curry. Curry throwing a pass fake, trying to go down low. 8-7. Chaos needs to hold on to this if they want to force this round 3. So for Raffo, that will help them at least momentarily if they can recollect this one. Really important. 16 seconds, maintaining possession. So with 13 seconds, unless a turnover happens here, looks like we're in the clear for Chaos and their fans in chat. You can see Danimal up in there. So that will end this round. Second round, again, there was a tech break and a restart, so this is the second round. So it's 1-1 on the series now. 8-7 for Chaos in round 2. So we've already seen an OT in this game. We're about to see a round 3 in this game. Couldn't ask for a better way to finish out week 1 of VRML. So we'll take a look at the stats, but again, mind you, this is only partial stats because of the reset, but 4 apiece for Cakester and Dano, as well as an assist for Dano, Curry, and Cakester. So good team play on their part. For Raffo contributing a save and 12 stuns. Over on Genesis, it's Jada Baker with a couple steals and 10 stuns. H Money SD with 3 points and assists, 12 stuns. Knife Rich with 2 points and 4 stuns, and Mozzie with a save and 7 stuns. Sealable Bag there in chat asking if the extension is still going strong, referring to the stat reader on the Twitch player if you have your mouse over that. But yeah, as far as I know, it's been going strong. Haven't heard any complaints. I've been reminding people on the regular, much as I can. And everyone seems to enjoy it. So again, big thanks to Sealable Bag from the Kangarillas for that tool. Very, very handy to have. All right, launch is underway. Round 3 at play. Here we go. So H-Money SD down there, the disc a little bit faster than his own momentum, so can't get it initially. Does get a nice sprawl off, but Curry in a hurry finds it, dishes it out with a nice pass to Dano. Knew he was on the other side. Dano needs to clear that, or get that out at least, to Cakester. Now Cakester, good little bounce pass. Made it an easy catch for his teammate. Another bounce, less accurate at that time, but does get eventually to Curry, who spins around, but ultimately loses it in that whirlwind to the defense of Genesis. For Genesis here, can they make the 3? Oh, that was very close, but not quite online for that. Jada Beka gets it to H-Money, who's stunned. Amazi collecting the disc in the back line, trying to draw the defense out towards the ramp and just bring their team into more advantageous positioning here. Good back pass. Took a few bounces, but at least good recognition on where to throw it, knowing that the teammate was back there for. And, oh, bold shot. Maybe a pass to H-Money. He was cutting, but didn't really have time to work with. The defense was pressuring. So had to just get rid of it with a very strong pass or shot. Now takes it over. So Mazi and H-Money there. Rocktor saying, good back pass. Pauses because back pass hits block. Well, good recognition on back pass. Being bothered heavily by the defense, but still, basically what I'm getting at is just recognizing the fact that, hey, I have someone, you know, in this area that I can get it to. Now that shot, a little bit too bold perhaps, taking it directly into a goalie, and as a result, will be saved. Very dangerous to go for those ones. And, you know, on that play, see, a back pass might have been better for them, just to get a better looking shot. But Farafa going in, wow, threads the needle like a surgeon to buy themselves a 2-pointer here in round 3. Very, very nice. So it took a couple minutes, but we got ourselves our first score here on the board. Again, for those tuning in, saw the numbers pop up a bit from where it was, so this is actually the 3rd round. There was a tech restart, so currently the number under the clock is not accurate. This is the 3rd round, and another one, so taken here, and again, this one not exactly what they're looking for when you're taking those shots on a goalie. Going to hurt the efforts. Trying, almost a bouncer of a shot. That one, boldly taken, not quite made. So looking for some boosts here. A light one coming through from Farafo. But getting stunned out here at the top. Now H-Money takes it away, as well as Dano. He's up top. Looks to clear it on out. Cannot find anyone yet. So now Jada Beka getting that through. Finding H-Money SD. And H-Money looking for a good pass there on a cutting Mazi. Mazi now looking for a pass down low. Can't quite connect. And some more, just you can see every time the disc reaches somebody, it seems like near that bubble, there's just a lot of trouble. Oh, but that is actually a solo play. So finally there is a player who was able to break away, but for a lot of that midline brawling action, there's just, it was clear or pass that would bounce around, and then it was just a pile upon pile of players, kind of end to end. But finally, someone got a broke free solo and were able to make a score. So 6 minutes left in round 3, and it's tied up 2-2. Round 1 taken by Genesis 11-9, and round 2 was to Chaos 8-7. So both extremely close games as Curry just dumps it off here, fearing the defense that was nearby. So again, the brawls resounding through the arena, echoing in fact, as a good punch goes from H-Money. Was he taking a shot on his own goal almost? It seemed like that could have been an interesting highlight, but at least to get the clear. Almost looked like he threw a shot fake at his goal or something, maybe a back pass, I don't know. It scared me, okay, and I'm a little jumpy sometimes, so I could be wrong. But over here, we'll go to Dano McFabulous. And Dano having it slapped out actually by Jada Beka. So here's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where the disc would get loose, and then you see these pile-ups happening, where all the players just cluster up here and start punching the bolts out of each other, I suppose. Intercept taken by Farafo. That's a good pass to Dano, but a tough shot. He had not a lot of momentum, so it will result in a good save there. Mozzie looking for a clear, gets a light boost. And right now looks maybe like he'll be first to the disc with a lot of time here, so could take the lead. Actually, no, there's stack coming through. Oh, the headbutt save. Looked like from Curry, perhaps. Gets that one through. So what defense, what a great defensive play we're seeing. Kind of end-to-end. Brawl heavy, yes, but there's also a lot of saves happening here as that shot does connect. So 3 points. Shepard corrected me saying that wasn't a headbutt. Okay, my bad. And off it goes 5. So just a straight-up great save from Curry. Gotta love it. The defense end-to-end. I think what it was, I was kind of confused by the physical move he did. Kind of just did a little duck or something, and then the disc just left his hands. Usually when you see the disc quickly pop out of someone's possession like that, a lot of the times it's because of a headbutt, especially with that motion. So I think that's what confused me. But no confusion on the shot as Genesis brings it back. So 1 point game, and it is still head-to-head, goal for goal, it would seem like here in this game. It's been like that the entire nearly 30 minutes. Great to see. And yeah, lost scripts happen. Like I said, I think it's just the motion of the body that kind of confused me a little bit. Got Mozzie down here, Jada Baker. There's a lot of pile-ups, some more brawls. This does get loose into the hands here of Dano McFabulous. And Dano will go down low. Cakester right back. So some passes too strong on that one. Another one of those cases where I compliment the right decision, just the execution not quite there on the pass, but they do retain it. Now this is some great close range passing. Managed to obtain the disc. Another one to Cakester. Very nice disc movement. No one's even holding onto it for very long. Just, wow, second by second, it's in someone else's hands, and that is great. Whoa, that is late on the ping. I'm concerned, but here it goes for a boost off to the hands of Jada Baker. Looking for a 3 and just off, maybe a self-rebound, but no. A steal, however, and another save. Curry again. Looking good on the defensive end. Uh-oh, a loose disc. H-Money doesn't capitalize. That could have been dangerous. See if they can actually get some offense going. I mean, Curry in a hurry has had some nice defensive plays in this third round. But really, the problem now is just getting the disc to the other side so they can find their offense. They have 1 point lead right now for Chaos. Maybe not for long, but not making the shot there on the dive, so back out it goes. Another steal here from Jada Baker. A couple shot fakes, pass fakes rather. H-Money getting it taken away by Dano. Punch being sent by Dano. Cakester eventually making it through. And again, awful lot of punches. Just constant. I'm going to hear these sound bites of the stuns just going in my head all night when I sleep. Over here, Cakester looking to make it, and he does. Shuffled it around in his hands and found the 2-point goal in some very stingy defense there. A lot of clustering, but he mustered in the points. So up by 3, Chaos, and only a minute left. Chaos in position now to win their first match of this first week, Season 1. Ultimately, the disc does find the hands of Curry, but again, one of those clears which have been kind of biting them in the butt a little bit. Obviously, they do have the lead, but right now going in. Oh, and a good stun there from Cakester. But yeah, some of these clears just not going through, so it's staying on Chaos's side of the floor in Genesis's possession. So it's really given Genesis a lot of extra opportunities, just like that one again. So third or fourth attempt on this side of the floor for Genesis trying to make it through. See if they can. That's going to be a backboard shot. So dangerous and yet so necessary. H-Money Look at that, tying it up with an amazing clutch shot off the backboard. Could not be saved, and because of that, OT again for the second time in this match. How about that, folks? Okay, so I'm going to maybe commentators curse this one on purpose, because I keep saying when we get these OTs, a lot of the time, 75% of the time, an OT ends within about 10 seconds. So I'm going to hopefully commentators curse this, and we're going to see some back and forth. We'll see. But here we go. Launch underway. There's the quick joust. It's going to find the hands of Curry in a hurry. And already, my commentator's curse playing off nicely. So here it goes to the other side. In the mid, it'll find the hands of, well, no one. Some slap clears going through. A good boost from H-Money SD. Is it going to be? Absolutely! H-Money SD gets the win. He cheers. I cheer for him. And now with that, it is Genesis coming up ahead late in this game, late at night. Sunday delight. You gotta love it. This is VRML, and look at this celebration going on from these teammates. They love it. I love it. What a game, what a round, what an OT. Show you that replay right there. Just as it ends, and whew, what a match. Now, if I'm not wrong, because I was too busy celebrating, believe it was 10-7 on that score. Yes, that sounds right. No, maybe not. Yes. Yes, probably. Oof, wow. What a game. So that is a tough break for Chaos. They're just unable to get that victory here. But still, what a game to end that one on. I mean, that close as any. Look at that. The differential there. 11-7. A 2-point differential in the first round. Then we had a little tech break there, and then once round 2 finally got underway, we had an 8-7 match, so 1-point differential. And then round 3, 10-7 in OT. Round 1, I should mention, was OT as well. So just, that was a nail-biter for both of these teams and for the audience. Love to see it. But yeah, congratulations to Genesis for getting that win there in the clutch time. That huge 3 off that backboard to tie it up, and then they managed to get the disc back off the joust and just take it away in OT. So very well done on their part, and for Chaos, much respect to them for what was a tremendously well-played game, well-fought game, hard-fought game. Now, with that, I'll just say it. With that being said, I've used that phrase way too dang much this week. But with that being said, we are ready to wind it down here for the night. Much appreciation to everyone.